I want to welcome you to 100 Days to Financial Success. And these are going to be the key lessons. There's many, but these are a few key lessons that I've learned from my mentors. And one of my mentors mentioned to me and made me actually promise him that once I achieve some success in my life, I would share it with others. Would you like me to share a few of the key lessons? If you would, let me know in the chat. John, share with me a few of the key lessons, and I will start that. Before I get into the key lessons, all right, here's a question for you. And the more you play full out with me, the easier it is for me to have some fun with you. So read the question there. Is it possible to break free from whatever circumstance you are facing right now and succeed financially? Let's start with a premise of is it possible? And Liz says yes. Sally says yes. When I was younger, I'm 59 now, but when I was younger, I really didn't think it was possible. And that was my first hurdle. You know, if you don't think it's possible, then it's not. And if you do think and believe it's possible, then it is. Question number 2, is it possible to have breakthroughs and achieve greater financial success even in crazy, uncertain, unpredictable times? Is it possible? I want to know your thoughts, not just what's in your head, but what do you feel? Do you feel it's possible even in crazy, uncertain times? So it is even more so, Nina, right, in these times. And Luke, that's why you're here. Yeah, it's possible. Let me share with you some clients of mine that are achieving some great success right now, just to give you an idea of what's possible. This is from Ishan. He says, I'm so happy and proud to share my success during these pandemic times. I've taken my business online with the resource I had. A complete nationwide lockdown was announced in my country 5 weeks ago, but my adaptability and focus on my work has actually doubled my monthly income. And in fact, I see the potential to redouble in the next few months. Did you notice the word that Ishan used? My adaptability and focus. Adaptability and focus. How many of you agree that when times are uncertain, times are changing, times are tough, circumstances arise, that adaptability and your focus is a critical factor to success? Do you think that that's one of the keys that all highly successful people have? Nina says yes. So if you respond to me, I'm going to mention your name just to acknowledge you. And Nicola, yes. So adaptability and focus is critical. Now, is it possible that some people get fixated on the problem and what's happening out there, and they lose focus, or they focus on the wrong things? And if they're not willing to change and adapt based on what's happening, that could be their demise. That could be the key reason why they don't succeed. Is that possible? Of course. This is one of our clients, Kaz Iso. He's a spiritual coach in Japan and in the US. He says, hello, John from Japan. When the coronavirus situation hit Japan, I was in the middle of my biggest launch and sales opportunity of the year. With your help, we started doing online seminars and the results have been great. We've just passed last year's revenue with a bit over $1 million, and this is only the beginning. Thank you for helping us pivot and adapt to the situation instead of being crushed by it. Do you think that if he would have focused on the problem and not in adapting, that he would have had this result? Like somebody who goes around and teaches in hotels and in convention halls, and that's his business model. Do you think that making the switch and adapting was a key to him passing last year's revenue? So, and Carrie, you said the word pivot. How many of you have made a pivot from whatever it is that you were doing to whatever you need to be doing right now? Is adapting, refocusing, pivoting critical to your success, right? Is it critical? Are you doing it? Are you doing it, or are you being a victim of uncertainty? Which one? So Sasan, you are starting. So I wanted to show you, many of you know, my specialty is the neuroscience and neuropsychology of success. And I see all around the world, all right, I've got clients all over the world, all right, that are pivoting, adapting, refocusing their energy and attention. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. Before we do, I want to ask you a question. When it comes to money, forget about health, wealth, or relationships, career type of thing, but what level of the money game do you want to play at? What level of the money game do you want to play at? You know, do you want to just play around at kindergarten? Do you want to have a little bit of fun in grade school and learn a few things? Do you want to play at the high school level, university level, or the pro level? So Hariam from Romania, and Nancy and Carrie, all right, and Nina, pro level. What does it mean to play at the pro level? Everybody wants pro level results, but do you really know what is required to achieve pro level or even university level results financially? How much money do you think pro level makes? How much money do you think university level makes? Right? Do you have any idea the discipline that you have to have in order to play at the top level? How much room for error is there when you're playing at the pro level or you want to play at the pro level? Right? So how much money do you want to earn in the next 12 months? All right? You know, when we talk about 100 days to financial success, we have to start off with, you know, a vision of what that is. Now I see that as soon as I started talking about how much work it is, you guys started to become quiet because it's like, oh my God, no, I don't really know what it takes to play at the pro. I want those results, but do I really know what it takes to achieve that? Part of what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you what it really takes. Would that be a little helpful? I think it's really good if we can, you know, lay out a foundation, right, of what it is. So let me ask you a question. I live in San Diego. The beach is a 5-minute walk from my home. Can anybody tell me what surfing and financial success have in common? Any idea? What does surfing and financial success have in common? Cindy, riding the waves. That's great. There's waves, you know, big waves, small waves. Jamaica, freedom. Okay. What is surfing and financial success? Balance. Yep, we have to have some of that. Momentum. Luke had a duck, right? Had a duck. Let me share something with you. I'll share a little story with you that'll set the frame for what we're about to do. The first time I learned how to surf, my surfer, a friend, Greg, took me out, gave me a surfboard, and had me paddle out with him to a little place here in San Diego. And he said, you know, try and catch a wave. So, you know, I paddled out. Worked way too hard to get out there. And then I looked, you know, at the waves. And every time I tried to catch a wave, the wave went underneath me. I just missed the wave and missed the wave and missed the wave. And then finally, he came to me. He said, hey, Johnny, if you want to catch the wave, he said, first, you have to point your board towards the beach. My board was pointing, looking at the wave. I was looking at the wave coming at me, trying to turn my board to go and catch a wave. He said, Johnny, no, you have to point your board towards the beach first. He says, and then when you see the wave is coming, that's when you have to paddle so that when the wave comes underneath you, then you can ride the wave. And so I'm thinking, why didn't you tell me that ahead of time? He says, you have to prepare. You have to point your board, okay, where you're going first. And you have to paddle way before the wave is underneath you or you keep missing the opportunity. So the first thing I want to share with you, and Greg was not one of my mentors, which I'm going to get into in just a moment, but are you prepared for the waves that are coming our way, whether it's the real estate wave, the business growth wave, the stock market wave, right? Whenever there is crisis or uncertainty, do you agree that there are so many people who run scared or just sitting there waiting and watching what's happening, and others are pointing their board towards the beach where they want to end up, and they're learning what to do ahead of time? How many of you would agree that's a really good metaphor and what learning how to surf and earning more money have in common? I want you to hold on to that. How many of you have been in a financial crisis before, either the crash of 2008 or 2000 or 1980? How many of you have been through a downturn, okay, in the economy or the market? Have you been? Right? What ended up happening? Were some people prepared and they made money as things dropped, whether it's in real estate or in business or in the stock market? And did somebody, ride the wave back up because they were positioned, they had their board positioned, they had the knowledge and the skills of what to do because they had been trained? Of course. So my first question for you is, are you ready? Are you ready for the waves that are about to happen? Because every downturn and every area of uncertainty always leads back to an upturn. So let me share with you my first mentor. And some of you may know this story, all right? I was 19 years old, or 19 years young, and I was getting into a lot of trouble. I had left high school when I was in grade 11. I was hanging out with a group of guys that were getting into trouble. I didn't really believe that I was smart enough or good enough to succeed. And so I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing to try and make some money so I would feel good. And my brother had arranged for me to meet this gentleman that you're seeing a picture of right now. His name is Mr. Alan Brown. And I took the train 350 miles from Montreal, Canada, or 500 kilometers to Toronto, Canada, just to have lunch with him on a Friday at noon. And I took the train. It was like $25 for the train return. And my brother picked me up at the train station. I went over to meet Mr. Brown for lunch. And he asked me a bit about my life. What are you doing? Why are you getting into trouble? Why aren't you, getting yourself a job and making, money working at a job? And I said, I do have a job in the shipping department. I'm making about $1.65 an hour. And just to put into perspective for you, I'm 59 now. I was 19. It's 40 years ago, right? So I just kept saying, I don't know. And he asked me what my goals were. And I said, well, I'd like to get a job. I'd like to get a car. I'd like to move out of my parents' house. I'd like to buy some clothes. I'd like to travel a bit. He goes, oh, that's great. Everybody wants to do that. But what are some of your bigger goals and dreams? And I didn't have any. I didn't take the time to imagine because I didn't feel that I was worthy of achieving anything at that time. And so he gave me, the sheets of paper, not these, but, a group of paper, probably about 6-7 pieces of paper. And it was a goal-setting document. And he handed it to me and he said, I want you to sit at the table over there and I want you to fill out as much as you can on this goal-setting document. And so I opened up the goal-setting document and the first question, what age do you want to retire? I'm 19 years old. What do you mean, what age do I want to retire? I want to get started, forget about retiring. Second question, how much net worth do you want to have when you retire? So I looked at him and my brother was sitting there too and I said, Mr. Brown, what's net worth? I have no idea. So here's a question for you. At what age do you want to retire? What is the net worth that you want? And as you type in the answer, I'll continue the story. And so it asked me, what kind of lifestyle do I want to live? What kind of car do I want to drive? What kind of home do I want to live in? Where do I want to travel? What do I want to do for charity? It asked me a whole bunch of questions that I had no idea what the answers were. But he said to me, he says, just use your imagination and write down something that would excite you, something that you would be excited to have and be and achieve. All right. So thank you, Marisol. And I'm surprised why many more of you are not writing in what age you want to retire and what you want your net worth to be. Is it because you don't believe that you can achieve it? Are you embarrassed to share it with others? I'm just asking. So I wrote down the answers to all these questions and he looked at it and he said, these are some really good goals. I wrote down that I want to retire by age 45. I want to have $3 million net worth. I want to travel the world. I want a nice car. I want a beautiful house. And I wrote it out. And he said to me, he says, you can have all of those things. And in the back of my mind, I said, really? I don't really believe that I can. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have the skills. I don't know how to do it. And he said, are you interested in achieving those goals, or are you committed? And I looked at him and I didn't know what the difference was, because he said to me, I'm going to ask you one question that'll determine whether you achieve this or not. And so I said, I don't know what the difference is. He said to me, listen, if you're interested, you'll do what's easy and what's convenient. If you're interested, you'll let your past control your present and your future. If you're interested, you will stay stuck achieving the same results over and over and over again. If you're interested, you'll use your stories and your excuses and your limiting beliefs and your habits to keep you in your comfort zone, achieving the same results. He said, but if you're committed, you'll make a decision today to break free from whatever is holding you back. He says, you'll upgrade your skills so you can achieve those goals. You'll upgrade your limiting beliefs from limiting to powerful beliefs. You'll develop the skills and the habits to achieve every one of these goals, because every one of those goals is doable, but it's not doable if you're just interested. It's only doable for people who are committed. So I ask hundreds of thousands of people a year, are you interested or are you committed? Because what that question did for me was really caused me to think about whether I was willing to do whatever it takes. Now, many of you said you want to, achieve pro-level income and net worth and probably lifestyle. But pros are committed, are they not? So here's my question for you. My first one from my mentor to me and from me to you, and I'll be your mentor today, right, is are you interested in achieving the age that you're going to retire at and have that net worth, or are you committed to it? Are you interested or are you committed to achieving the lifestyle of your dreams? Are you interested or are you committed to helping the charities that you want to help? Are you interested or are you committed? That is really the question. So what does commitment mean to you? When you say you are committed, Nina and everybody else, what does commitment mean to you? Right? Because the word is easy to say, but the behavior to follow through consistently is a lot harder, right? It's a lot harder. So is commitment showing up to, a training like this and then falling back on your old laurels and falling back to your old habits, right? Is commitment, writing out some great notes and then forgetting about it and not following through? When you say you're committed to yourself and then you don't follow through to be committed, doesn't that affect your self-worth and self-esteem? And then you don't trust yourself, you don't believe yourself? Isn't commitment really to cut off from any other option, to cut off from an old way of thinking, from an old way of believing, from an old way of behaving, and then switching to new beliefs, new emotions, new behaviors, and new results? Isn't that what commitment means? Is that whatever obstacle is in your way, mental, emotional, physical, financial, you figure out a way? Do you agree with that definition of commitment? Do you agree with that? Right, so that's commitment. So how many of you are ready to be committed to the outcome? All right, how many of you are committed to having a debt-free day sometime in the future? How many of you are committed to living the lifestyle that you really want to live? How many of you are committed to getting out of debt How many of you are committed to helping others, your family, your friends, the charities? How many of you are committed to making the income you want, to live the lifestyle you want, so that you are proud? How many of you are committed to letting go of what's holding you back and charting a new course and a new path? Because anything less than that, then what you're saying is that I hope and I pray, and I like hope and prayer, in addition to commitment. Does that make sense? In addition to commitment. So that was the first lesson from Mr. Alan Brown. All right. And I want to share with you, as I mentioned before, the neuroscience of financial success is very similar to the neuroscience of health and building a business. But when we are committed, when we are activating the Einstein part of the brain, there's a part of the brain called the left prefrontal cortex, which is connected to your imagination, your occipital lobe. And when you start thinking of possibilities, what is it that I want to achieve? You're actually activating the dopamine system in your brain as well, which connects to your motor cortex. And when you activate your emotions to be able to see what you want and feel what you want, and then you ask yourself, how can I achieve that? How will I achieve that? Why must I achieve that? Right? So when we are committed and we focus on the possibility and we get emotionally engaged with it, and we ask ourselves simple questions, how can I do that? Not why I can't or why I can't, is how can I? How I will? Why must I? Now we're activating the neural networks in our brain that's going to help us to start achieving those goals and dreams. When we start focusing on those goals, a part of our brain, the GPS part of our brain, starts to actively work to come up with solutions on how we can. Does that make sense to get us started so far? Does that make sense to you so far? So you don't have to know the how initially. You have to know the what you want to achieve initially. The how comes after the what. And if your why is big enough, then you're able to achieve it. So what I want you to do and what I want you to start off with is I want you to set a vision for your life that you don't yet know how to achieve. I want you to set some financial goals that'll help you achieve the vision of your life. And then I want you to write down, why must you achieve your life, your life's goals and dreams? Why must you achieve this? So if we're going to activate that left prefrontal cortex, and we're going to set some goals, and we're going to activate the emotional centers of our brain, the limbic system, now we have some motive for action. Now we have a little bit of the fuel, the circuits that are activating in order to get us started. So can you create a vision for your life? Can you share with me a little bit about what the vision is you have for your life? What kind of life do you want to have? What kind of environment do you want to live in? Is there a neighborhood you'd love to live in? Is there a way you'd like to live, whether it's what you buy or how you live or how you feel? Can you give me a little bit of that? So Carrie's to help people achieve great health and healing. And how will that make you feel, Carrie? Right? Do you know what the financial goals are that are associated with that? Right? The more clear you can be, the easier it is for your brain to say, okay, I can help you get there. So Marisol, peace, love, kindness, health, and freedom, right? So that's your vision. You want to have zero debt, hiker girl, have your house paid off, healthy and strong, happy, and be able to give back, right? So why you must, Vlad, is it Jody? Have liberty, and choice, right? Time freedom, emotional freedom, financial freedom, right? Luxury life. Never say we can't buy it, it's too expensive. To be debt-free and have some savings for your retirement. Awesome, Tony, right? So from this vision, make your life playing music, become the very best God created me to be and help others desire to do the same, right? All right, so good. I want to live in spacious houses, sea view, a four-wheel drive in a boat, and create a nature healing center. I love that. Claire, I want to pay off debt of 18,000. Awesome. So these are some vision and some goals, right? And then why must you? Why must you achieve your goals and dreams? So as you start thinking about why you must, your must is your fuel to override the fears, the uncertainty, the doubts, the limiting beliefs, right? Which you're going to see in just a moment. All right, so key lessons from mentor number one that's been reinforced by every other mentor I've had and every book I've read and every seminar I've been to and every coach I've had is first you set the vision, goals, and the timelines of when you want to achieve it. And then you have a big why. Can you all do this part? Is this part the easy part or what? Can you all do it? And are you committed to doing it? So I want to know, when will you have the vision, goals, timelines, and big why done by? I want it in writing. I want it on your computer. I want to know when you will have it done. If you're committed, you will give me a date. Nancy, I love your commitment. That's commitment, Nancy. Tonight, I love it. End of tomorrow, hiker girl, perfect. All right. Marisol, you'll have it done today, perfect. All right, good, good, good. I love the commitment. End of tomorrow, write it down, create it. Awesome, Surya, yours is done. Great. So then you determine if you're interested or you're committed. And many of you said that you are committed, and then don't waste your time if you're not committed. How many of you agree that if you set the vision, your goals, your timelines, and you have a big why, and you're committed, you will have the greatest chance possible for achieving your goals and dreams financially and non-financially? Do you agree that just this simple first bit of lesson, if you really were serious about this, not interested, serious and committed to do whatever it takes, you will achieve it, right? So certainty, okay, brings with it confidence. Certainty brings with it confidence, and commitment brings with it enormous amounts of power, okay? So then let's shift from that to what really determines how much you earn. Does anybody want to guess? And are you enjoying this? Does anybody want to guess, okay, what really determines how much you earn? So we have the vision, we have the goals, we have the big why, we have commitment, but what really determines? So Sally says self-image. Sally, you're right, that's one of the pieces. Self-image and self-esteem go hand in hand. You're totally right there. What value offer? That's a good point also. So what really determines? Grit, hard work. Are there people that work hard, Cindy, that don't make a lot of money? Why don't you think about that? A lot of people think that hard work equals a lot of money. There's a lot of people that work really hard, don't make a lot of money, right? So focus, knowledge, growth mindset, focus, vision. Yeah, a lot of good stuff over here. The value you give, mindset. So Sean Pearson, not sure what you mean. Attitude, okay. So let me share with you my second mentor. I was like 21 years old. First mentor 19, second mentor 20, actually 22 years old. Bob Proctor. Many of you know Bob Proctor. He was with me in the movie The Secret, and he's been, a legend in the personal development arena, right? And brilliant man. He's 85 years old now. Wonderful, wonderful part of my life. So how many of you, not a plastic one of these, how many of you own, one of these things called a brain? What do you think the value of a human brain is? How much value do you think the human brain is? Is it worth $100, $100 million, $1 billion? Priceless. But if you had to put a number on it, how much would it be worth? Is it $1 billion? Is it $1 billion? Okay, 100 billion, a trillion, right? More than that. So you've got $100 billion, a quadrillion dollar, $1 trillion, a crazy number for something you own. You already own one, and yet you don't really know how to use it. You have the most powerful biocomputer in the whole universe, and you don't know how to use it. You don't know about the circuits that go on and off. You don't know about the hormones that activate because of certain things. You don't know about the networks that interact together or oppose each other. And yet we want to achieve goals and dreams, and we don't know how to use the tool that we already have. So I'm going to break it down into some simplistic things for you. Your goal-setting brain is responsible for only 5% of your behaviors around money over the course of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 weeks, 20 weeks. How many of you have heard the saying that we are creatures of habit? We are creatures of habit, right? Have you ever heard that saying before? So what does that really mean? Were you born with any habits, or did you develop certain habits? You developed them, right? So you were born with incredible potential, but then we developed certain habits. Did we develop certain comfort zones? Did we develop certain skills? Did we develop certain beliefs? Did we develop certain emotions? Well, of course we did. We weren't born with any of them, so we developed them. And so our conscious brain, all right, is able to imagine. Our conscious brain is able to choose. Our conscious brain is able to answer the question, why is it important to you? Our conscious brain is able to make plans. Our conscious brain is able to create timelines. I want this by then, right? That's part one. But if the power center is the subconscious mind, and it dictates 95% of your automatic thoughts. It dictates what you see. It dictates how you behave. It dictates how you react. Okay? It dictates all of that stuff. Okay? Then where is the power center that we should be focusing on? Right? Where's the power center? If we really want to achieve greater success, then where is the power center? The power center obviously is in the subconscious mind. And so if the power center is in the subconscious mind, is it possible that if we train the subconscious mind to see and feel and believe and think at the level of our goals, then is it possible that then at the mental, emotional, and at the gut level, right, we are going to be in resonance and in vibration with those goals that we seek? If we create this coherence between the conscious mind that chooses and the subconscious mind that causes automatic behaviors and thoughts and emotions, that if we create that coherence, we are going to be in alignment, in harmony with the goals that we want to achieve, right? And so if the answer is yes, then what happens when your financial goals are not in alignment with your subconscious conditioning? If the answer is we need this coherence between conscious and subconscious, what happens when the financial goals and the lifestyle that we want are not in alignment? So let's say your income goal is $150,000 or $250,000 a year, or a month, or a week, or a day. But your subconscious conditioning is that you're only worth $50,000 or $30,000 or $75,000. What will happen? And Faiza says, we'll fail. Sally says, you can't achieve them. Why? But you have the goal, you have the why, you really want it, you want a better life. What is happening in your brain when there is chaos between the conscious and the subconscious mind? You have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, right? And so we self-sabotage. We rationalize. We tell ourselves rational lies. I'm too young, I'm too old, it's not the right time, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. We listen to that little voice, a little gremlin, okay, that we've been feeding and reinforcing all of the reasons why we can't. Luke says cognitive dissonance. Luke, you are correct, and I'll show you an image of that in just a moment, right? And so what little gremlin are you feeding? Are you feeding the I can't little gremlin on your shoulder? Have you caused the little baby monster to grow into a big monster that's running your life right now? What if you want to travel and stay in 5-star hotels, but there's a little gremlin that says, I can't afford it. And you keep feeding that narrative. You keep feeding that little gremlin, that little monster. Does the little monster get smaller or does the little monster get bigger? And then if the monster gets bigger, is the monster running your life right now? Catastrophize, yeah, right? What if you want to have a dream home and a dream life, but there's a little gremlin, little voice on your shoulder that says you don't deserve it, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you don't know how to do that? Which monster are you feeding? The monster of possibility or the monster of fear and uncertainty, right? What about, you want to give to charities? I don't have enough yet to give to charities, so I'm going to hold on to as much as I can, right? So Faisal said, yeah, you want to hear the little gremlin and get the little gremlin out. What if you want to build your own business? What if you want to write a book? What if you want to become a coach? What if you want to do stuff, but you say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the skills, I don't have the know-how? Which is winning, the goal and the vision and the desire and the why, or the little gremlin, okay, in your subconscious mind that you've been feeding in some cases for years and years and years and years, right? So one of the things that Bob Proctor shared with me, my second mentor, right, is when you have wants and dreams and you feel you don't deserve to do this, you can't do this, you're not worth this. Anytime there's a disconnect between the vision, the goals, the dreams, and even the big why, and your subconscious programming wins over time. Yes, you can override that and take some action right now. Yes, you can take action for a day or a week or a month. How many of you have ever gone on a diet and you do great for a day, 3 days, a week, and then you get off of that diet, or for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or you lose all the weight and then you gain it all back? Why? Because the subconscious conscious disconnect is there, and the subconscious is what wins. So by the time we are in our 20s, our beliefs, our habits, our money story, the story we tell ourselves, okay, is already set, right? The subconscious patterns that have developed over your lifetime are the ones that are dominant and make up part of what we call is the default mode network, or your automatic self. It's the automatic way that conserves energy in your brain and makes it easy for you to be in your comfort zone. Now, here's a question for you. Is it possible for you to be comfortable and miserable? Is it possible for you to be comfortable even though you know how to change, but you don't do it because it's safer there? Is it possible that it's easier to master disappointment instead of mastering change? Is it possible to master disappointment versus mastering change? Why? Because in mastering disappointment, you at least know what you've got. In mastering change, it can be scary. Is this making sense to you as to why you may be stuck? And so Luke earlier said, neural dissonance happens. When there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, that neural tension and that emotional tension and that uncertainty of change, the uncertainty of the new, creates this dissonance in the brain. That's called neural chaos. And what we can see actually in brain scan imaging studies is when a brain is experiencing neural dissonance, the Einstein part of your brain that is required to maintain your imagination, your plans, your goals, your dreams, your inspiration, the blood actually is moving away from there, and it's activating that little gremlin, which I call as the Frankenstein brain. Does that make sense to you so far? Right? Does that make sense to you so far? So my second mentor really helped me understand, all right, this inner Frankenstein focuses on why you can't. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't know how. It's the inner saboteur. And that Frankenstein brain focuses on what we call our negative what if frames. What if I fail? What if I succeed and fail? What if I'm embarrassed or ashamed or ridiculed or judged, right? And so this is a part of your brain that you have to really start to understand is working either for you or against you. And so let's say you have some financial results right now. Let me show you this a little bit in a visual way. I just need to move something off of my screen over here, right? So would you agree, give me a second here, that your behaviors, the ones you're taking and the ones that you are not, okay, they are causing your financial results? Would you agree that your behaviors, the ones you're taking, the ones you're not, are causing your results? Okay, and would you agree that all of your results are the effect of your behavior? The one you take, or the ones you take and the ones that you don't. 100%, Sean, right? And so what actually causes you to behave a certain way? We talked about this before. If 95, 97, 98% of your behaviors are based on habits, what's causing your habits, right? Is it possible that you're limiting beliefs? Or beliefs are causing your habits? Is it possible that your knowledge and skills caused your habits? Is it possible that your fears, what you're afraid of happening, has caused your habits? Is it possible that your self-image has caused the way you behave? Is this a more accurate frame of what is actually at cause of your results versus the effect of your results? So it's a combination for some people, Surya, of all of this fear. And Hiker Girl, the opposite of fear is courage, not resilience, right? So if you want to alter your money, the amount of money you make, the amount of money you accumulate, the wealth you have, and your financial life and the rest of your life, doesn't it make sense to focus on creating a self-image that matches what you want to achieve? Doesn't it make sense to understand how fear works in the brain and to overcome that emotion that disempowers you? Does it make sense to take your limiting beliefs and eliminate them so that you can have empowering beliefs? Does it make sense to upgrade your knowledge and skills, right? Of course it does. That's the cause. The habits are what are created as a result of those, and then that determines your behavior. So what you want to do is reset your financial thermostat by resetting your self-image, managing your fears, changing your limiting beliefs, and upgrading your knowledge and your skills. And that's how you reset your financial thermostat. Does anybody know what a cybernetic mechanism is? Do you know what a cybernetic mechanism is? Anybody know cybernetic mechanism? So a cybernetic mechanism is a control mechanism in your thermostat that controls the temperature. And let's say that the temperature gets too hot in the room, a signal is sent to the air conditioner and the air conditioner goes on. Let's say it gets too cold in the room, a signal is sent through the electrical system to the heater and the heater goes on. That's called a cybernetic mechanism. It's a control and response mechanism that occurs in machines that we create and in a lot of animals, right? And that's Maxwell Maltz, Luke. That's right, my son just read his book last week. And so we have a cybernetic mechanism around our weight, around our relationship, around our money, our wealth. Every one of the categories in our life, we have a setting and a set point, we call it, a financial set point. And anytime we're doing better or worse than what our setting is, this mechanism within us hops on, and either we sabotage our success because we're doing better than the setting, or we get ourselves in gear and we do whatever it takes to get that setting back. How many of you are feeling right now during this crazy time that this part of you is actually activated? You know, you're either trying to figure out what to do, you're either in a state of fear, you're working harder than ever before, or you're doing better right now and maybe you're taking it a little bit easy, right? So these are mechanisms and circuits that are going off automatically, just like your thermostat does, based on your current settings. So if you want to reset your thermostat, that is part 2 of what I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor, which leads me to part 2 of this equation. All right, now, is this worthwhile for you? Are you learning a little bit? Is this worth your time? I'm only on mentor number 2 right now, but what I learned how to do when I was in my early 20s is I created, you know, back then my goals, but now I have my exceptional life blueprint, and every day I visualize, you know, the lifestyle that I'm living or the lifestyle that I'm creating. Every day I am looking at my results that I am creating, and I'm reading them, I'm recording them, I'm listening to them, I am repeating them over and over and over again with affirmations and declarations and visualization, and I emotionalize it, and then I let it go into the universe. I'm developing the beliefs, recalibrating my financial set points, and then I'm asking myself, what are the skills and habits that I need to create? So somebody earlier asked, you know, how do you retrain your subconscious mind? And the answer is by accessing your subconscious mind, either using technology and some help that's guided, or you do it on your own. I happen to do both every single day. And so if you're not doing step 2 as part of retraining your subconscious mind, you're missing a huge portion, the biggest portion of what is actually required to achieve those goals and dreams that you have. And so it's not enough to have your vision, goals, dreams, and your big why. You have to develop the beliefs to match those. You have to recalibrate your financial set points, and then you have to deliberately create a plan to upgrade your skills that then turn into the habits of how you behave every day automatically instead of just once in a while. Does that make sense? This was mentor number 2 for me. All right, this was mentor number 2 for me and what he taught me. And in doing what I just shared with you, that is the beginning process, okay, of creating what I call is neural coherence. So instead of chaos, there's coherence, which is harmony in the brain. And so we want to take your vision, your goals, and your big why, the beliefs, your set points, and we want to impress them every day into your subconscious mind. Are we good? Are we good on that? So the key lesson here is create alignment between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Align your vision and goals with your self-image beliefs and habits. What is possible? This is Joni Sanderson. Some of you have seen this before in some of my other presentations. And Joni is in her, I believe, 60s now. She's in Australia, near Perth, Australia. And for most of her life, she was making about $12,000 a year as a social worker. And she wanted to achieve more money, help her family, make a difference in her community, and enjoy the lifestyle of her dreams. And she said, you know, I don't know how to do that. I don't feel like I'm worthy of achieving this success. And she started doing the process that I just shared with you. And within less than 12 months, she started earning $75,000 a year. Now, that may not sound like a lot of money to you, but for somebody who had made $12,000 for most of her life, jumping to $75,000 was a pretty big jump. If you had a 6-time increase in your income in 1 year, would you be happy with that? If you were able to do more with your family and for yourself and for your community, would that be worthwhile for you, right? Of course it would be, right? Here is Lazo in network marketing. Imagine at the age of 60, I was laid off with $500,000 in mortgage loans, hard times. With this program, what I'm showing you right now, miracles start to happen, amazing opportunities, people and circumstances. Yes, I doubled my best year. This is the best program I ever found. Now, he bought a program that, that helped him do that, but you can do all this on your own, regardless of age. The process is what you want to learn. And as always, you can do stuff on your own. You can get help doing it, you know, or you can get some stuff done for you. That leads me to my third mentor, Walter Schneider. And many of you know I got into real estate when I was 19. I sold as an agent. And then when I was 26 years old, I decided I want to start a business. And I used to work, you know, in a real estate office for RE/MAX in Toronto, Canada. And downstairs in the basement of the real estate office, Mr. Walter Schneider and his business partner, Frank Polsler, were building RE/MAX in Ontario and in Atlantic Canada, which is the eastern part of Canada. And I used to go down to talk to Walter, you know, when I was 22, 23, 24, 25, to find out, like, what are you doing to build your business? And he started to mentor me. He started to share with me that there are systems and processes that when you use those systems and processes, you can cut the learning curve in half. And he was selling RE/MAX franchises at the time. And he was very, very, very successful, but he was also very willing to transfer his knowledge to me. He was very willing to be like a big brother to me. We're still very dear friends today. And what Walter was able to show me was that there are people in life that are really good at creating systems and processes. And they spend a lot of time tinkering around, figuring stuff out. And then they're like the engineers of the world. They know how to create, you know, if you do this and this and this and this, it equals that. How many of you are like that? That wasn't one of my core competencies when I was young, but he showed me the value of why people buy franchises. You know, so people buy a franchise so they don't have to figure it out on their own. Are you the type of person that likes to figure it out on your own, or do you prefer to buy a system that works? I prefer to buy a system that works and then innovate from that versus figure out on my own. But Walter showed me that for everything that I wanted to achieve, there was a system and a process that others have figured out. And so he showed me not only how to become a better real estate agent. I went from making $30,000 a year in real estate to $151,000 a year in real estate to over $250,000 a year in real estate in my early 20s. And then I ended up becoming his partner and buying RE/MAX of Indiana, which had failed twice before I moved there to be the CEO. And over the course of 10 years, we opened up about 85 offices and grew the company to about 1,200 agents who were doing about $4.5 billion a year in sales, about 20 some odd thousand home sales a year. Now, that may sound like a lot, but what he taught me was a system for selling franchises, for helping the franchises grow, and for using advertising dollars to market and sell. Him teaching me what he and Frank had learned, that they learned from the other owners of RE/MAX regional owners around the country and around the world, the United States and Canada at the time, was a way to leapfrog where I was. So when I took what Bob Proctor and Alan Brown taught me, and then I added some systems and processes so I know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, because there was a blueprint, I was able to achieve a decent level of success by the time I was 30. I bought RE/MAX at 26. By the time I was 30, I was able to achieve another level of success. Is this making sense to you, okay, as a way of thinking, all right, and as a way of behaving? Does this make logical sense to you? Does this feel right to you, right? So it should, because these are some awesome, awesome, awesome lessons that I've learned. So you can try to figure out stuff on your own. You can spend crazy amounts of time and money and energy, figure out what doesn't work, only to find what does work. Or you can follow the path of people that have already been there and are doing it and just do what they're doing, right? So key lesson, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Apply the strategies, tactics, and processes that have proven to work. That's why people invest $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 on a franchise, right? Which leads me to my fourth mentor, right? Leads me to my fourth mentor. Are these some valuable lessons for you? I sure hope so, because they have defined, how I've achieved success, but also what I teach people. So Len McCurdy. Len McCurdy is somebody that was introduced to me, interestingly enough, by Bob Proctor, my second mentor from when I was in my early 20s. And Len was a very successful entrepreneur. The company that he had just sold when I met him had 5,500 employees, and he sold it to IBM. And let me share with you what he taught me, because with Len McCurdy, I actually joined his team after I built Remax of Indiana, and I was retired for a few years. I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do. And Len wanted to build this company called bamboo.com, which was, have you ever seen virtual tours on the internet where you can move your mouse left or right, look up or down, you can see inside a house, you can look left, you can look right, you can look inside a hotel room halfway around the world, or inside a car, and see what that was our technology. That was called bamboo.com. And we grew that company from 6 initial founders. We raised $28 million. We grew the company to over 1,000 employees in less than a year. And then we merged with another company, and we acquired another company and took the company public on NASDAQ. And at the height of the internet boom, that company was worth $2.5 billion. Billion. So in less than a year, we built a company that was worth over $2 billion. Now, yes, I get it. It was the internet heyday. I got a chance to witness a master at play, Len McCurdy. And he was retired and he wanted to help. So what he learned, what he taught me, was that in order to scale, to really build a company, you've got to hire or barter or partner with people who play at what you have to work at. Hire, barter, or partner with people who play at what you work at what you have to work at. Now, Len McCurdy was brilliant at creating a big vision and big goals and having a big why, and then building a team around him with the expertise that he did not have. Now, when I was a kid, I don't know about you, I was taught that I had to be good at everything. If you want to get it done right, do it yourself. Well, Len was the opposite. He said, no, if you want to do it right, get people who can do it right. I'm like, wow, I never thought of it that way. I always thought that if I needed anybody else, that means that I wasn't good enough. All right. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't fill in the blank enough. Right. And so Len, all right, taught me that teamwork makes the dream work. That when you can create an environment of like-minded people who are committed to achieving a goal, to helping each other, to mastermind, that is what accelerates potential. So these are just a few of the lessons that I learned from some of these individuals. So I'm going to give it to you in summary, and I've got a few more lessons, and I've got an invitation for you as well. So number one, okay, the 3 key pieces right over here to accelerate your financial success is you've got to develop the beliefs, habits, and the emotions, right? And then you've got to upgrade your knowledge and skills, and then you've got to take inspired action, strategies, tactics, and action. And when you combine your mindset, but not just the conscious part of it, the knowledge and skills that become your habits, and you develop the plans that Walter showed me how to create, this is really the trinity of success. Mindset plus skill set plus action set equals the success that you want to achieve. Can you see that if you committed your life to upgrading your mindset, upgrading your skill set, and adjusting and tweaking your action set of what you need to do, you can achieve every goal and dream that you shared with me in the chat earlier. Can you see that? So I will look for your answers in the chat while I have some water. Right? There you go, Andrea and Nancy. Right? And so that's what's going to help you achieve greater financial success. So if you want to achieve greater financial success in the next 100 days, this is the path that you should get on. And when you combine it together and you create your vision, your goals, and your why, you develop the beliefs, the financial set point, and you upgrade your skills and habits, this is where you have got to go if you are committed. If you're interested, you'll do some of this. You'll do what's easy and convenient. But if you're committed, you will put yourself on a path to doing this. Does that make sense for you? Right? And so if you don't change and do this, what do you think your results are going to be like in the next 90 days, 180 days, in the next year? If you keep doing what you're doing, what's the famous quote? If you keep doing what you're doing, expecting a different result, is that like the definition of insanity? No change. In some cases, you're going to go further behind, right? So let me share with you, as a result of what I learned, I built Remax of Indiana. I helped build Bamboo, NeuroGym, Life Success Institute, a variety of multi-million-dollar companies. Because of this process, I've written best-selling books, 3 best-selling books, New York Times Having It All, New York Times The Answer, Inner Size, #1 on Amazon, the Complete Vision Board Kit, all because of this. I've been in The Secret, In Quest for Success with Dalai Lama, 8 other movies. I've got a chance to live the lifestyle of my dreams, and now I know that you can do it. How do I know? All right, I'll share with you in just a moment. Here is 3 potential futures for you. Tell me if you agree with this. Today, uncertainty, stress, unpredictable out there, and you can act out of a space of stress, fear, panic, anxiety, uncertainty. And is it possible that it could get much worse for you? Is that a possibility? I don't want to be a probability, but is that a possibility that it can get much worse? Of course it can, right? The other is that you work really hard and you struggle and you put in a lot of energy and you can survive, right? And 9 to 8 months from now, you'll be in the same place you are right now, surviving, depending on your efforts and what you do. But then there's another possibility, right? And that's where, with some renewed focus, some planning, and a new set of actions, you could be thriving in the next 3, 6, or 12 months. Is that possible too? So which reality are you going to focus on? I shared with you what is required. Which reality are you going to focus on? You're going to be focusing on being much worse, surviving, or are you planning on thriving? So what if you could thrive faster? Would that be something that you want to learn how to do? Let me share with you some of the people in my environment that are thriving and doing great. This is Arif Balagan, and he has a dental practice, or had a dental practice. He sold it, and these are just some of the results of people that are following what I teach. So we'll end up with $110,000 of revenues for the month, plus an additional $130,000 in collections, a total of $240,000. This is the best production month of the year. Is that a good month for some of you? Maybe yes, maybe no. I get hundreds of these. This is Robin, a realtor. Thank you does not encompass how grateful I am. I've saved just over $500,000 with the sale of my rental. Will have almost $750,000, and I'm putting my son through college. Best of all, I'm living stress-free in the midst of this worldwide crisis and assist others with having enough savings to live this out without fear for the first time in my 62 years. Prior to getting involved with the programs, I would be bankrupt. Thank you, John. That's from Robin. I don't know if these are the kind of results you want to have. I just need to move my cursor over here. This is from Valerie. All right, and Valerie's like, I was living on $500 a month. I knew I had to do something to get out of this hole, so I became part of NeuroGym. Many of you know that's my company. right? And since then, I've tripled my income going from $500 a month to $1,500. To most, it seems insignificant, but to me, it's helped me open my world in amazing ways. It may not seem like a lot to some of you, but from $500 to $1,500 it's an extra $1,000 a month, $12,000 extra dollars a year to somebody who's making $500 a month is a pretty big thing. Would you agree? Ricardo Villarreal, this program works unbelievable. I just signed. Let me just see. I gotta keep moving my stuff. I just signed the biggest monthly contract ever with the difference of a big number of all the contracts I've ever signed before. And I've been in business for more than 30 years. Just wonderful to be here with you, John, and this great people that you attract. I can keep showing you some more. So here's the question that I asked before, right? What will change if you do not? What will change? All right? What will change if you do not change? All right, that's a real question for you. What will change if you do not? And the answer is circumstances may change out there, but nothing will change if you do not. So I'd like to suggest and offer you something that may be worthwhile for you if you are committed to achieving your success. And may I share with you a program that I know can make the biggest difference in your life right now? It's called my 100 Days to Financial Success Accelerator Program. If you like what I've shared with you so far, I'd like to share with you a program that you can sign up for today. And over the next 100 days, will help you accelerate your financial success. May I share that with you? And if you'd like to stick around to listen, I will share it with you, and then you can make a smart decision for you to be able to get involved and take advantage of what I've learned in the last 40 years, and what I've helped tens of thousands of students do to achieve a greater level of success and security, okay, in their life, all right? So would you agree that there's only 4 things that are in your way right now, either self-image, self-esteem, or self-worth? Would you agree that's one of them? I think you would say yes, right? Would you agree that limiting beliefs may be in your life right now? And would you agree that emotions and fear or uncertainty is in your way right now? And would you agree that knowledge and skills, or a lack of specific knowledge and skills, are in your way right now? 1 or 2 or 3 or all 4 are in your way. And would you agree that if you could, over the next 100 days, eliminate the obstacles, that would clear a path to greater financial success and the life that you really want, a life that you're proud of, right? So if these are the things that hold us back, then if you're committed, then let's figure out a way to help you break free from all of these. And so let me share with you what we're going to do to make sure that you thrive in the next 100 days. I'm going to share with you a program that I just did live, and we had hundreds of participants from all over the world. We recorded the entire program, and we just bundled it so that I can share it with you and have you go through it in the next 100 days with some help. So in step 1 of the program, in our video training library for the 100 Days to Financial Success program, all right, the first thing that I will teach you how to do and show you step by step exactly how to do for yourself is how to retrain your brain for financial success. And once you do that, that is what resets your financial thermostat. And as you do that, and you use our behavior and habit modification techniques every day for the next 100 days, you're going to be able to create new habits, new beliefs, new perspectives around money and you earning more as you augment your self-image, self-esteem, and self-worth. If this was the only thing you would do, and you were to be able to recalibrate your financial success settings, how much would that be worth to you? How much would that be worth to you? Right? I think a lot of money. I think I've shared with you, what other clients, have been achieving doing this. In the next part of this program, I'm going to help you level up your skills and your knowledge around how do you earn more money right now in the next week, the next month, 2 months, 3 months. How do you then take the money you're making and how do you manage it better so that you have more than enough at the end of the month? How do you get some money ready for the wave of opportunity that is about to come in a variety of different markets according to many, many experts, right? So in real estate, in the stock market, in growing your business, how do you invest wisely and minimize your risk? And then how do you get out of debt faster? Would you like to get out of debt faster so you reach your debt-free day faster? Well, these are all skills that you can learn, right? If you don't have the skill, then you're playing out of ignorance. All right, so in this program, I'm going to teach you everything that I have discovered and learned and applied over the last 40 years to earn more money. I think, you know, I've earned a lot of money in my time. I've learned how to manage my money, how to invest my money, how to get out of debt, how to use debt as leverage, and how to protect your wealth once you accumulate it. The information that I will be teaching you in video and workbooks will have you going from uncertainty and lacking confidence to having greater certainty and greater confidence than you've ever had in your whole life. I've invested over $1 million of my own money in the last 40 years to accumulate the knowledge that I'm about to share with you for not even $100,000. You don't have to worry, it won't cost you that much. And then what about accountability and taking action? In this community, or in this program, I'm going to give you access to my private community. It's my Achievers community, where we dialogue every day with other members from around the world on what they're doing for mindset, what they're doing for skill set, what they're doing for action set. And we're creating an entire ecosystem where we answer questions on Zoom. We do Q&As, we do hot seats with our members. All right, we do laser coaching and consulting sessions on Zoom where members come on and ask questions. We create accountability partnerships so that you can have somebody else or a group of people to help you stay accountable to yourself so that you develop the beliefs and habits and the behaviors in order to take action so that becomes your new norm. So between everything that I've shared with you right now, normally the investment for this would be inexpensive at $7,500 just to get access to the over 30 hours of training, not including all of the Q&As in the community that I'm going to give you access to. Let me share with you what we've done to make this easy for you to take action right now. Instead of investing $3,500 or $1,500 or $7,500, your one-time investment to get access to the product and program of the training, which is yours for life, is $997. That's like $3 a day. It's the best deal I've ever offered on this type of information and content. So you can take advantage of that right now and just make one payment of one payment of $395 and then 3 more payments if you want to finance it, or make one investment of $997 and you're going to have access to all of the video trainings plus the community, plus access to our Q&A sessions, accountability partnerships, and to be in the ecosystem that's going to help you achieve the success that you want to achieve. If you want a bill me later option, PayPal has that for you, and you can just click on the link, go to the PayPal option, fill out their form, qualify, and you can get this whole program, apply it, and pay PayPal in 6 months from now. So if you've been thinking about, I can't afford this, this is an opportunity for you to be able to do it and pay for it from the extra money that you will earn by taking inspired action. So that's one option for you. And so the link for you to get started is right in the chat right now. And so let me share with you some bonuses that I'm going to include for those of you that take action right now. So I have an exceptional life coaching program that people from all over the world pay to be a part of. And every single week, every 2 weeks, we have an expert that teaches another part of the mindset or skill set required to succeed in life. And so we have an entire ecosystem, okay, in this Exceptional Life Coaching program. And Janine Smith, tell people in the chat what that program is all about. If you like to be surrounded by like-minded people and you want to learn not just from me, but other brain and success experts, I'm going to include the Exceptional Life Coaching program for the next 100 days for you. Then I'm going to give you access to something that will blow your mind. It's our 100 Days to the $1 Million Success Library. And the value of that for access to a Netflix-like library on video trainings, there's over 75 different video trainings in there that's separate from this program that you can access for yourself to be able to master your mindset, your emotions, your behaviors, your planning, your goal setting. I'm going to give you access to that for the next 100 days also. Most of you don't even know this exists. And as I ask my assistant Andrea to turn the blind off or move her computer because it's blinding me, I will share with you, I created this program called the 7-Day Millionaire Mindset Program that we sell right now for $197. For anybody who signs up right now, I'm going to include that and put it into your membership area, and you are going to own that program for life. And in this particular program, I'm going to share with you exactly how to change your hidden money story so that you can actually earn money based on a new money story that you create. So right now, everybody has a money story, and your money story creates your beliefs and your behaviors and all of the results that you're achieving. I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest way in this little program to be able to change that money story. Andrea, can you please move? The desk is shining a light in my eye. Sorry, I've got the lights coming in from my window there. Bonus number 4. When I did the 100 Days to Financial Success training live, I also did 12 laser consulting sessions, replays. I'm going to give you access to all of those where we answered hundreds of questions that you can listen to upgrade your knowledge and skills and get every one of your questions answered on demand, basically. So I've put this incredible program for you. And then there's a super bonus. Remember earlier we talked about the wave and surfing, and you've got to point your surfboard to the beach, and then you've got to catch the wave before it's underneath you. Look what I put together. I put together some of my most brilliant expert friends who are all not only making a fortune right now, I had them come to my program. We recorded this, and I recorded a training with Adam Markell on pivoting and adapting in today's crazy times. We did a training on the stock market with legendary investment guru, Phil Town. I'm going to give you access to those two. Plus, I also did a training session with Roland Frazier, legendary entrepreneur, with Kent Clother, legendary real estate investor, with mindset and peak performance expert Yurka on mastering your mindset and getting rid of your old beliefs and habits and mindsets. So she comes with an incredible background of NLP, teaching people how to do that. And then as a special bonus, there were 2 other people. John Keuchel was somebody who was on your end of the video where you're at right now, and somebody who got involved in our programs when he didn't know what he was going to do to make a living. Today, he has over 140 homes that he has bought, either in foreclosure or from the banks. And he shares exactly how he built his little fortune worth over $10 million, starting with a $1,000 deposit on one house. And if that's not enough, I've got Michael Tedesco, one of the VPs at Morgan Stanley, sharing how he is investing on behalf of his clients right now, what he's looking for in the marketplace. So if you want to be prepared right now over the next 30, 60, 90 days, then this is the program for you, right? And I know many of you have been in some other programs of ours. This is an accelerated program over the next 100 days. And for the first 25 people that enroll right now, I'm going to give you a $3,500 bonus. And this is a training that I did live with a bunch of experts called Money Squared. And people paid $3,500 to $5,000 to be part of that program. I'm going to put that in your library so you have access to it for life. So for the first 25 people, I'm going to put that into your library. So now you're going to have a library, not just for the next 100 days, but you're going to have a library that you can use over the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months to upgrade your knowledge, upgrade your skills, master your mindset, master your emotions, and learn the best goal achievement processes and plans. Remember what Walter Schneider shared with me? It pays to know the systems and the processes to use, because then you can leapfrog your success. Imagine being much more prepared. Imagine having more confidence and more certainty because you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it, and how to overcome any of the obstacles that are holding you back right now. So if you are committed and you want to stay consistently committed versus something that is just words, here is your total package. There are 8 in-depth training video sessions with me that you get access to. There's the 100 days access to the Exceptional Life Coaching Program, the 100 days of on-demand access to the $1 Million Success Library, 7 days to Millionaire Mindset, recordings of the 12 laser consulting sessions that are 2 hours each, the bonus session with world-renowned experts, which is priceless right now, and then our 3-day Money Squared event video training. This whole package is over $20,000 worth of value, one payment of $997, or 3 payments of $395. If you are prepared to go further, click on the link right now. I'll turn off my alarm clock. That alarm clock is your signal to hit that link and get started right now. And if you want to use the PayPal BIN Me Later option, you'll be able to do that. You've got to qualify for that, and that's PayPal's rules, not ours. And you don't have to pay anything for 6 months if you choose that option. So the link is in the chat. If you can't click on the link for any reason, it's myneurogym.com/100. There's always a 100% love it or your money back guarantee. So if you're wondering, will this work for me? Will it not? Is it worth it or not? Get it right now. And if it's not for you, just ask for a refund. And Gordon, Goodwin, you're right. It is 4 payments of $395, not 3 payments. 1 payment now, then 3 more payments of $395 if you take the payment option, or you take the 1 payment option. All right. Let me share with you some clients who are students of mine that are learning what I'm teaching them and applying them and changing their lives. This is Jacine Drummond from Australia. I've had the best month. We've picked up 15 new clinics. I've done my best month ever. There's still another week, and I've done over $300,000 for the month. She owns a skincare company in Australia. This is a recent testimonial. This isn't from 2 years ago. This is Steve Hockman. Investing in your program was the smartest business I ever made. You prevented me from making some pretty costly mistakes. So let me squeeze out an additional $18,000 of monthly net income out of my small business, just 4 months. He's got a personal training business. This is Ruben Salazar, owns a welding business. We are $400,000 a year and we're almost bankrupt. And now we see our way to over $1 million a year and profitable. We've had 2 months in a row where our sales were 103,000 and this month 105,000. Wow, I never thought this was possible. This is Aaron, a jeweler. Last month I gave myself a fun goal of doubling my monthly business, which on a good month was $55,000. Well, we came close, 110,000 in sales. We did 50,000 in a single day. When you get the mindset, the skill set, and the action set right, you're able to achieve greater success when you focus on the power center. So instead of not knowing what to do and not feeling certain or confident, you gain the confidence and the certainty. And when you follow the process that I will teach you to earn, manage, invest, protect, and get out of debt, that is how you have an exponential rise in your income and your wealth. This is Bill Thomas, insurance sales. In the first year, I doubled my income. The second year, within the first 6 months, I doubled my income again. He did my program a couple of times. here's the whole package. This is the best value and the best offer that I can give you to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So there is the browser to click in there. And if you want to ask any questions, I can stick around for a few minutes to ask some questions. Let me just make sure that you can still hear me and see me. I clicked off a couple of buttons, all right? Let me share something with you. We had talked a lot today, for the last 90 minutes of if you don't change, nothing will change. I've helped tens of thousands of people break free to achieve greater success. And the little hinge that swings the big door is not just setting the goals, as I mentioned before, but it's really in reprogramming your subconscious mind as you upgrade your knowledge and skills and you apply what it is that you need. And so this is what you want to do if you are serious and, as you said before, you are committed, all right? So hiker girl, you enrolled in the last 100 days and life got in the way, don't know how to use a Zoom, could not, well, just call my team. You have access to that program, Hiker Girl, and they will walk you through how to use this very program. So way to go, all right? And so no problem for you at all. Does anybody have any questions? I can take a few questions. Marisol, the 100 Days to Financial Success training that we did is pre-recorded with videos and manuals that you can walk through. Absolutely. And there's some live components as well to it in our Q&A sessions and our hot seats. All right. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right. All right. So here's a question I'm going to ask you. All right. For each of you. Many of you said you're committed. I know many of you have already decided to move ahead and purchase the program and invest in yourself. How many of you are on the fence and you hear that little gremlin either in your head or on your shoulder saying, okay, now it's time for me to do something else. I've had enough of the training, right? So Rossi says, if you already work 9 to 5, how much time do you need to do this? Rossi, you can do it for, an hour a day or an hour a week. How committed are you to upgrading your mindset, your skill set, and your action set? So if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes and you'll follow a path and a process. I will lay it out for you in full. So Tony, what are you on the fence about? What specifically are you on the fence about? Right? So what are you on the fence about? So are you on the fence because of the money, the time, the uncertainty, all three? Which one? So which one are you on the fence about? What's causing you to be on the fence, right? The money, all right? So let me ask you a question, and this goes for all of you. Is money ever really the problem? Right? Whenever somebody tells me that money is the problem, I always ask them, if you needed to get money to put tires on your car because somebody slashed them, would you find the money because you needed tires? Well, if this is a way to stop having money as a problem, see, money is never the problem. The reason people don't have money is the inner game stuff that's holding them back. Well, if we fix the inner game stuff, then money ceases to be a problem. So fix the cause, it'll take care of the effect. All right, so that's for somebody was asking that, right? And so then it's the fear. So Andrea says it's the fear of what? The fear of succeeding? Well, that's maybe always going to be the fear of failure, the fear of it not working. Well, I've got a 30-day money back guarantee. So what is going to win? Your fear of what might happen or the vision and goals that you have for your life? Which is going to win? Because if you have a fear now, unless you fix the fear and you understand what's triggering it and you control it, it will always control you. That monster just gets bigger, right? Right? So, Andrea, so what if you do finish it? What if you do succeed and keep the success? What if you're not overwhelmed? What happens is when your brain automatically goes to those fears, then you activate and reinforce that Frankenstein part of your brain. That will never go away until you learn how to manage the emotion that we call fear. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense, Andrea? So the fear of overwhelm is always there, but do you even know what overwhelm is? Do you even know what causes the fear of failure? Hi, Alan, you just turned on your camera. Thanks. Bye, Alan. Right, so do you know what that fear is? Right, and so Andrea, if you don't face fear straight on and learn how to manage the automatic trigger that's in your brain, it will always control you instead of you controlling it. There's nothing wrong with fear. The challenging part for most people is that fear controls them. And all it is a trigger in your subconscious mind that activates the fear based on what your imagination thinks might happen. And if you don't get that in check, that amygdala, the fear, the emotional center of the brain goes bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it gets tripped up and ruins and runs your life. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Anybody else have a question? Thank you, Sarah. Right? Thank you, Sarah. So if you have any fears, you have to face the fear. And then I've eliminated all the risk for you. I've given you a ton of bonuses to give you the best chance ever to master your mindset, master your life. Right? So I want you all to imagine something if you're still here. I want you to imagine, if you close your eyes for just a moment, and I want you to imagine, come on a walk with me, all right? In your mind, I want you to imagine that you invest in yourself and you start to retrain your brain. You start to upgrade your knowledge and skills on managing your emotions, and you start to take inspired action around income-making activities. And I want you to imagine that in 90 days from now, you are in the best place you have ever been in a state of confidence and certainty and personal power. And you're in an environment with a group of people who are not just making more money themselves and overcoming obstacles, but you are helping them and they are helping you. Not only am I going to help you, but I have a team of experts that are going to help you also. When you put yourself in that environment and you stay committed to your commitments and you have an ecosystem to support you, does that not give you the best chance to succeed? Imagine what that feels like. Imagine what that's like. And for those of you that are already in some of my programs, am I telling the people who are not in our programs the truth right now? Feel free to share with them whether or not this is the truth, right? And so if you are serious and you want to remain consistent with your own commitment to yourself, then guess what? This is your possibility. But you have to step past what we call is the terror barrier, the fear barrier, or the uncertainty barrier, and step onto the other side and prove to yourself that you are worthy of achieving your goals, because all goal achievement requires stepping out of your comfort zone and into some uncharted territories. And this is going to give you the best chance for your success. All right. Thank you, Sean. I'm glad that my programs have worked more than any other program for you as well. So if you've signed up already, congratulations, high five. If you haven't yet, then share with me, okay, any questions you might have. Hi, Joy Schechter. These programs are fantastic, really help you move forward towards your goals and dreams. Yes, right? So anybody else have any questions? I see that there's still a bunch of you on here right now. All right. And so this is one of our most comprehensive programs that is a game changer, especially in today's world. Sylvia, I don't have time to answer your questions on what are my biggest goals right now. All right, so I'm answering other people's goals or questions. All right, so the PayPal option on the website, it's by clicking on the link. All right, so Andrea, I already shared a little bit about the habits. And I'm not going to get into, all the process. How to change habits is in the program. You got to change your beliefs. You got to change your habits. Every habit has a trigger, a behavior, and a reward. And so you have to identify the trigger. You've got to change the habit, create a process in order to change the behavior and remain consistent for at least 66 days. That's how you do it. All right. Hiker Girl, not sure what your first name is, but you are so welcome. And I really appreciate you being on. And let's get you started in the program. Contact my team at supportedmyneurogym.com. Supportedmyneurogym.com. That's for you, Hiker Girl. All right. And let's get them to help you since you already have the program. All right. Thank you, Janine. Hi there, Janine Smith. Nice to have you on. Hi there, Pedro. So thank you. And I'll explain my name. All right. So everyone have a great day or evening or night. You can take advantage of this program. You got 30-day money back guarantee. Get yourself into an environment of success. Let us help you change your mindset, upgrade your skill set, and upgrade your behaviors so that in 30, 60, 90 days, your results change and you are living the lifestyle of your dreams. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.